family, and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Dolphins have benched quarterback Tua Tagovailoa and will start rookie Quinn Ewers Sunday against the Bengals. 2025's been a nightmare for Miami and Tua, and when you look around the AFC, the Dolphins have no choice but to move on from him, believes our Harry Douglas.
He hasn't lived up to the way that he's supposed to play within the confines of this offense. When I look at a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, I look at Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, those guys, if the play in structure breaks down, I have faith that those guys can make an offensive coordinator right. Or they can make great defensive play call wrong. I don't feel that way about Tua.
Zach Wilson's the backup this week with Tagovailoa, the emergency QB. Tua's cap hit for 2026 is $56 million. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has begun rehab following surgery to repair torn ligaments in his left knee. The team optimistic he could be back early next season. Rams receiver Puka Nacua on a live stream last night said NFL referees are the worst and that some make calls just to get shown on TV during games.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, the Rams are the #1 team in my power rankings this week, but I'll tell you the fatal flaw that can keep them from a Lombardi trophy. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's hump day. Yep. Gotta take it easy.
It's hump day.
Got 3 more shows.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Today.
Hump day.
Tomorrow.
It's hump day.
Friday.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Then I got 2 weeks.
Hump day.
Let the voice heal.
It's hump day.
As it is for now.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I got Halls like they're Skittles.
Hump day.
I got a bag of them, Use.
It's hump day.
What flavor? What flavor are we working with here, Scone?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The one that's like menthol.
Okay.
It's not candy, Muse. Just a means to an end.
Well, I get that, but there are better tasting. Like the strawberry one's pretty good.
I don't think
It's
you do.
hump day.
Just a means to an end.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Frank Wilson's going to Ole Miss.
Hump day.
Colin Hurley's going to the transfer portal.
It's hump day.
So is Carius Curne.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Talk about all that.
Hump day.
Saints got a buttload of injuries.
It's hump day.
Talk about that.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We'll go to New York to talk about the Jets.
Hump day.
Out of obligation.
It's hump day.
Billy Lucci next hour.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Russ Mitchell, hour 3.
Hump day.
Ton to do.
It's hump day.
Ton to do. So, let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Well, the news came on Tuesday night. Suffice to say that here on AFR, sort of already knew what was coming down the pike. This was yesterday afternoon. if I had to guess today, and again, like we talk about with coaching carousel and stuff all the time, if I had to guess today, I would tell you that I think Frank Wilson ends up at Ole Miss. I think basically Kevin Smith and Frank Wilson switch spots. I think Smith will be here and Frank Wilson will be at Ole Miss. So I was told Tuesday morning from a very reliable Ole Miss source that Frank Wilson and Ole Miss had agreed. Another LSU source confirmed that. And then also Tuesday was told that Frank Wilson did tell the LSU team after practice on Tuesday that he would not be back. He did not tell the players that he was going to Ole Miss. He just told them that he would not be back after the bowl game. Did not want them to hear it through the media. So this is, if you've been following the show, this has felt like a foregone conclusion for some time, and we've kind of laid the groundwork and explained why. You have 10 on-field assistants, 10 full-time on-field assistants. Over and again, people have said, make him a special teams coach, make him a running game coach. It doesn't matter what you call the title. You don't have a spot is the point. You brought Charlie Weiss Jr., you brought Joe Cox, you brought George McDonald, you hired Eric Wolford as your offensive line coach. It means you only got one more spot on your offensive staff for a full-time on-field staffer. And that's going to be Kevin Smith coming over when Ole Miss is out of the playoff. So you don't have a spot. You haven't had a spot. That's the point. The only way there would have been a spot is if Kevin Smith wasn't coming. And barring something dramatically unforeseen, Kevin Smith is coming. Now, I suppose there could always be the situation where another program offers Kevin Smith more money, better title, something like that. But you have to stand to reason that LSU is going to match whatever he needs to make that work. I mean, they just, looked in the couch cushions and found an extra $500,000 for Blake Baker and another $500,000 a year for Charlie Weiss Jr. Lane Kiffin is getting whatever he needs right now to make this thing go. You invested $91 million in your head coach. You're going to give him what he needs. So, this is, I think this situation here, watching Frank go out the door, is an illustration that there are different ways to build a roster, and that this is causing all of us, you and me and everybody, to reframe how we think about building a roster. Now, before I go any further, I want to give you my feeling, like how I feel about this. I hate this. Personally, I hate this. I've known Frank since LSU hired him the first time in 2010. I remember interviewing him on this show 16 years ago, and him telling a story about how when Les Miles called him and hired him, he and his wife cried, and he said, we're going home, and how much it meant to be able to represent Louisiana and wear those 3 letters across his chest. And it tugs at the heartstrings, but on top of that, he is an elite level recruiter in the most fertile recruiting ground in this state and among the most fertile recruiting grounds in the country, that's in New Orleans. And that reveals itself time and again. You just signed Harlan Berry, 5-star number 1 running back in the country out of New Orleans in the most recent class, or last year. Look at here in this December signing period, Lamar Brown, Richard Anderson, both delaying their signing, attributing that to the uncertainty around Coach Frank, in part. So, we've mentioned, Brian Kelly making mistakes early in his tenure with Brian Polian as his recruiting coordinator, not putting the emphasis on Louisiana, something he fixed. But it is worth noting Brian Kelly hired Frank Wilson in 22 when he first came in here. The most gigantic mistake he made was showing Corey Raymond the door and making Brian Polian his recruiting coordinator. But the world has changed dramatically. And I would also say that it is every coach's right to build a staff how they want. You're paying Lane Kiffin $91 million. You're going to let him do it his way. And every coach has the right to build their own staff. They should not have anyone forced upon them ever. And so if Lane Kiffin wanted to retain certain coaches like he did with Blake Baker, awesome. If he wants to move on from Frank Wilson, that is his right, his prerogative. It's his program to build how he wants. And by the way, your offense was so bad this year that nobody on that offensive staff should feel safe. But the point I made at the beginning is that we all need to reframe how we think about building a roster. And this is what I mean. Frank Wilson was hired at the end of 21, beginning of 22. And Brian Kelly wanted to build the roster through high school recruiting, recruit, develop, and supplement through the portal. That was Brian Kelly's stated approach over and over again. There was nobody more capable of helping do that in Louisiana than Frank Wilson. But from that point, early NIL to what became egregious pay for play through collectives and now the revenue share through third-party NIL era, the way you used to build rosters just doesn't matter as much anymore. Like, let me ask you this question. This is not rhetorical. I want you to say this answer out loud wherever you are. If you're on the treadmill with earbuds in, if you're at your home, if you're driving in traffic, wherever you are. If I gave you, knowing what you know now in 2025, if I say we can go back to the start of 2025, and you could either have Bryce Underwood as a true freshman or Fernando Mendoza, who would you pick? Say the answer out loud. If you didn't say Fernando Mendoza, you're a liar. The point being, we're about to watch LSU go through this in a year with Elijah Haven. There's a lot of people here melting the fact that LSU's got Peyton Houston committed, Elijah Haven's right down the road, number one quarterback in the country. Okay. You just watched Michigan go 9-3, have an atrocious offense with a freak show freshman quarterback who threw 9 touchdowns. They were awful on offense this year. And Bryce Underwood in time will likely be a very good player. But he was not a very good player as a freshman. You know who was? The guy who spent 2 years starting at Cal, went to Indiana, and won the Heisman. That's how Lane Kiffin is approaching roster building. We also talk about Frank's ability to get Louisiana kids. It's true. I mentioned Harlan Berry. Mentioned Lamar Brown and Richard Anderson, guys who delayed their signings because of the uncertainty around Frank Wilson. You know who both signed with LSU? Lamar Brown and Richard Anderson. Lane Kiffin has recruited the SEC for the last 6 years at Ole Miss, and then prior during his time at Alabama and for a year at Tennessee. He's got relationships here, certainly, not if not him personally, certainly with his staff. And we are seeing a shift. You know, giving you this example before, but I'll say it again. In my opinion, there's no clear example of how much of a change has happened in recruiting than what happened with Jakeem Stewart a year ago. Jakeem Stewart was the number one defensive lineman, the number one player in the country for 2025. He reclassified. I would say he should have been in 2026. He was going to be the number one player in the country for the 2026. He reclassed to the class of 25. So he graduates a year and a half early. But St. Aug wasn't going to let him graduate early, so he transferred to Edna Carr. Who was the person that organized all of that? Transfer, got him into Carr, got all the academics worked out so he could graduate early, all of it. The guy who laid all the groundwork for that was Frank Wilson. And despite the fact that Frank Wilson did all that legwork to get Jakeem Stewart reclassified and enrolled early in school, Jakeem Stewart went to USC because their offer was $2 million and LSU shut theirs down at 1.2. So we're not going any higher. By the way, I'm not sure if you noticed, but Jakeem Stewart was this year as a true freshman at USC and actually finished the year hurt. In a different era, 100 times out of 100 in that situation, Jakeem Stewart's coming to LSU. In this era, USC was the highest bidder. The other part, as far as reframing how we think about building a roster, is if you try to build your roster through high school signees, you're going to constantly find yourself swimming upstream because high school signees don't stay. Just today, Carius Curne, 5-star, number one interior offensive lineman, played in 7 games, started 5, on an awful offensive line this year. He was a bright spot. Curne entered the portal after 1 year. Go back to last year's class, the class of 24 that were freshmen a year ago. You signed 29 players. Of the 29 players you signed, 10 are already gone. A third of that class is already gone, and there will be more between now and January 2nd. Lane Kiffin is looking at this saying, I built a playoff roster in Oxford, Mississippi with Ole Miss's resource. Give me LSU's resources and watch what I can do. I can build a national champion, not just a team that's going to make the 12-team playoff, but a team that can win championships and do it through the portal based off of their evaluation. Kiffin, Glasscock, their director of player personnel, Thad Rivers, that whole group, they're going to go through their evaluation, identify the players that fit the scheme they want best, and use LSU's resources to get those players here. Again, we're just reframing how he's building a roster. It's just not what it was. And it's hard to argue with the result. Last 2 years, Ole Miss has been better than LSU. I know LSU pulled the upset in Tiger Stadium in 2024, but Ole Miss, their roster, is better than LSU's the last 2 years. It's hard to argue against their process. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean you certainly have an advantage in inroads in New Orleans and Louisiana with Frank Wilson. And I know there's a lot of people sitting here thinking, well, now you've got Austin Thomas, Frank Wilson, Pete Golding. All they're going to be coming in and recruiting Louisiana. Cool. And if they would have come into Louisiana to recruit Jakeem Stewart a year ago, if they didn't have a checkbook matching or beating USC's offer, he's still going to USC. That's great. All those guys have ties to Louisiana. You have a big enough checkbook? About to find out. So, I hate it. I wish Coach Frank could stay. I wish he could stay forever. But it's Lane Kiffin staff. You got to trust him to build it how he wants. Proof is in the pudding that he has so far. And we all have to reframe our brain to how rosters are built in 2025 and 2026 and beyond if you're trying to build a championship roster. Because it's just not the way it used to be done. And you have the guy that's your head coach right now that's done it as well as anybody in this era. New day. All right, it's after further review. Show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with a great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, and, of course, of the New Orleans Saints as we're making our way here through the holidays. If you got Christmas parties or company parties or family get-togethers, make sure you have plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. Get the officially licensed LSU and Saints cans, the 16-ounce aluminum bottles, at great local retailers, of course, supporting our great friends over at Mockler Beverage. They've been great supporters of our communities for more than 4 decades. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. All right, y'all, it's AFR. Let me knock out our first break of the show. Speaking of, Taylor will be here for Bourbon Dictionary in about 30 minutes. So get your booze questions in. When we come back, a lengthy Saints availability report today. We'll get to that next on AFR.
AFR.
Can't even begin to tell you how life-changing BPC 157 has been for me. It's peptide. Talked about it. It's available at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Hey, man, I thought they did ED. They do. They do ED. They do hormone replacement therapy, but they also have dozens of peptides available. And these are non-pharmaceutical options and therapies to help you with many different things that could be ailing you. Muscle growth, brain fog, lack of energy, gut health, or in my issue, like pain, muscle recovery, things like that. Like I had a friend who just recently had knee surgery. I said, you should be on BPC 157 taking daily doses near the site of your surgery to expedite your recovery. It's worth learning more. Go to yourgoodwood.com. Schedule a consultation. Just have a conversation with Gabe. Have a conversation over the phone. yourgoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana propane dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
So a couple of Tigers did jump into the transfer portal, or announce their intention to jump into the transfer portal. Two more with Colin Hurley and Carius Curne. I do want to give you my full thoughts on that, and I'll break it up. I'll get to that just in a little bit. We'll talk about Colin Hurley at the top of hour 2, then Curne at the top of hour 3, and then Russ Mitchell will also be here in hour number 3. The Hurley news I don't think is surprising, considering the very tumultuous time that he's had in Baton Rouge. A new beginning for him probably makes a lot of sense. But I do want to talk about the future of the quarterback room at LSU, and then Curne in hour 3 we'll get to. That one is, I think, a bit more surprising, considering it's a freshman with a tremendous amount of upside. I have seen a lot on social media today from people after we posted that news over at LouisianaSports.net. A lot of the, well, here we go. This, as I understand today, this has that Curne has nothing to do with Frank Wilson being gone. Like nothing to do with Frank Wilson. I think this is an instance of a guy that's making himself an available free agent, and quite honestly, probably has some growing up to do, and that maybe cost him a little bit more playing time even. The physical ability, the upside is undeniable, but you can determine if I'm credible or not. Curne leaving is zero to do with Frank Wilson taking the Ole Miss job. Now, I'll be interested to see if Austin Thomas doesn't try to lure Curne to Ole Miss. I certainly think SEC destinations are in play for Curne, a kid from Arkansas who took a lot of SEC visits when he was coming out of high school. That'll be interesting to see. We'll talk plenty about that coming up in just a little bit. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. The New Orleans Saints have begun their preparation here for the New York Jets. One of the cool things after the Saints won on Sunday, if you watch the post-game locker room video where where Kellen Moore was giving out the game balls. And one of the things he said was like a true victory Monday. He said, we'll see you Wednesday. So he gave everybody. Usually you come in Monday, you watch film, you get treatment, all that sort of stuff. And then Tuesday's the off day in the NFL, but he gave them off Monday and Tuesday. So the Saints didn't get back in the building until today to start getting ready for their game against the Jets. And Ross Jackson was out at Saints practice for the media viewing portion. And we have this up at LouisianaSports.net if you want to check it out. But it's pretty lengthy absentee list here to start the week. So Devon Vele with the shoulder injury, Devin Neal with the hamstring, Alvin Kamara, who, of course, has been out with that knee and ankle injury. Cesar Ruiz was out. Asim Richards was out. And then defensive tackle Nathan Shepard also not seen at practice. So we're going to wait and see when we get the official injury report a bit later, exactly what that looks like. What these designations are. Were they DNPs? Were they limited? Again, the media viewing portion is a small portion of practice, so there's the possibility some of these guys might have been out there later, but these guys were absent during the media viewing portion. Now, obviously, going into this game, what should stand out is that every one of the guys I just mentioned, except for Nathan Shepard, is an offensive player. Vele has been, over the last month, your best receiver. With Kamara out, Neal has taken over that RB1 spot, and now both Kamara and Neal are out, which leaves you severely depleted at running back. Cesar Ruiz, awful as he is, has been your starting right guard, and Asim Richards was the one who had replaced Taliesin Fuaga at right tackle when Fuaga was out. The good news, Fuaga was back this week. So a handful of injuries offensively there for the New Orleans Saints. We'll see how this progresses as the week goes along. One of the things that's interesting, though, is that with Kamara and Neal both out, it's an opportunity to see more of Audric Estime and Evan Hull, who also had a nice run late in the game on Sunday. It was called back due to penalty. But, Estime is a guy, a couple of years into his career out of Notre Dame, and he hasn't had a lot of opportunities. He's had, in the last 2 weeks, exactly 3 carries for 11 yards in each of those games. But he had a 9-yarder against Tampa. He had a big third down conversion as well in the game this past weekend in short yardage. So, a powerful guy that kind of falls forward. I'm not saying that I believe at all he'll ever be a bell cow back, but maybe a guy that actually has a role in the offense moving forward. So, just something to watch here in the final month of the season, the final 3 weeks here of the season, especially as Kamara is battling some injuries, see how he may come back up from this. So New Orleans Saints getting set to take on the Jets this weekend in the Dome. It'll be the final home game for New Orleans. They'll finish with back-to-back road games against Tampa and Atlanta to wrap up the season. Aaron Glenn, we're waiting on Kellen Moore, by the way. Is he finished? Okay, so we're waiting on Kellen Moore to meet with the media, of course, because Ellen likes to sleep in and just have late practices.
Ellen Moore.
So his prerogative. The Jets have already had their practice. Aaron Glenn's had his press conference, and Muse has already chopped it all up already. So the most notable part of this game from the Jets side is that as they continue to have turnover at quarterback, Aaron Glenn announced that they're sticking with their plan from this past week at quarterback.
When it comes to our quarterback situation, Brady will be starting. All right, this game, I feel like I want to continue to evaluate him and see exactly how he's going to operate on a consistent basis. And throughout the week, Tyrod and Justin, all right, we'll see how they progress during the week to see who actually be the 2 or the 3, all right, because those guys are coming back from injury. I want to make sure that we get the person that's going to be the most healthiest to be able to operate as the 2.
So, of course, that's Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor are the other 2 quarterbacks. But Brady Cook is the guy that we all know out of Missouri. He's played in a couple of games this year for the Jets. This past week for the Jets in their blowout loss against Jacksonville, he was 22 of 33 for $176, so he completed 66% of his passes, a touchdown, 3 interceptions. So if that New Orleans Saints defense can be opportunistic, I think you'll have a shot, obviously, to maybe create some takeaways there. So that's 2 big components of this game for the Jets against the Saints. Is you're going to see Brady Cook at quarterback, and then you have a new defensive coordinator in Chris Harris. So next hour, we are going to go up to New York to get a thumbnail preview of the Jets. Dan Grocka, who is on the Jets radio and the host of the Dan Grocka Show, he'll be with us next hour from New York. So we'll get a closer look. He's from ESPN New York. We'll get a closer look at the Jets from an insider there, how they look coming into this game. Listen, the Jets are sitting there at 3-11, and a team that certainly looks like they are tanking. Not in a little sense that they're trying to lose, but certainly they're playing for the future. They're trying to get an evaluation of Brady Cook. They fired their defensive coordinator. This is not a thing where they're out there trying to win, which looks like an inverse of what the Saints are doing, where they are trying to gain some confidence behind their young quarterback, who's now managed to win 3 of his 6 starts. So Saints are a 4.5-point favorite on Sunday in the Dome against the Jets, and we'll get a closer preview of the Jets with Dan Grocka coming up here in about 45 minutes from right now. Hey, we're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. And, of course, they treat you like family, so they'll keep you coming back year after year after year. I love telling you about Shawbills because my experience at Shawbills, long before I even started endorsing Shawbills, has always been amazing. You know, when Eric and I got married, our first home was right off of Burbank on Bluebonnet Extension. And there's a Shawbills right there on Burbank near Bluebonnet. So we would go there all the time for our maintenance and fell in love with the place. I mean, the way that they treat you is awesome. If you need to stay while service is done, you can actually be productive. They have like a really clean kitchenette, complimentary coffee with Keurig. It's clean bathrooms. You have flat screen TVs and comfortable furniture and high-speed internet, so you can get work done. Like, I'll go just hang out at Shawbills and get work done while they work on my vehicle. So any of their locations, you can buy name brand tires at wholesale prices, or if you need any work done on your vehicle, they can help you out. So schedule service or shop tires online at ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. Okay, all it is after further review. Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes, or Bourbon Dictionary. Got booze questions, need a holiday cocktail recipe or something like that, wine recommendation for Christmas dinner. Get it in. This will be our last chat with Taylor before the new year. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
If maybe you got a little bit of downtime toward the holidays here, maybe you're already off of work. Maybe you got a day off today. And this would be a good time of the year as you start to prepare your New Year's resolution. And maybe that and something you know is coming up here in the new year is that you're going to be moving. Maybe you're going to be selling your home. Well, first of all, you need to work with a realtor. So it's important to make that decision first and foremost. 73%, 3 out of 4 people who list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor. So save yourself time and money. That's number one, make that decision. And number 2, it's making the decision of what realtor to work with. And I've told you for more than a decade now about Darren James, and it's not just me. The numbers are the numbers. Wall Street Journal Real Trends listed the top 1% of realtors in America. Darren James, number 14 in the country on the transaction side. Number 14 in America, the number of homes sold. So if you need to sell your home, you need the best. Check them out, agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Lockmere Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmere Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Got the more bowl action here tonight. Old Dominion in South Florida, they start at 5 o'clock, so you're in about an hour and a half. That's in the Staff DNA Cure Bowl. Staff DNA. The hell is that? Staff DNA? I don't know.
Some type of medical company, if I had to guess, yeah.
Maybe that's the objective of sponsoring a bowl game. You have people like me say, what the hell is that? And we look it up, and you find out what Staff DNA is. There's the 68 Ventures Bowl. What's 68 Ventures?
Yeah, I have no idea. Let's see.
That's the Cajuns against Delaware. The Cajuns and the Blue Hens in Mobile at Hancock Whitney Stadium. Beautiful new park, new stadium there. Beautiful new stadium there in Mobile. Yes.
It's an investment company in Alabama.
Okay.
68 Ventures.
What about Staff DNA?
Let's see. I was trying to do that, and then you asked about 68 Ventures, so I stopped. Staff DNA is a software company in Plano, Texas.
So you were dead wrong.
Very misleading name of your business there, especially sponsoring a medical bowl, the Cure Bowl. Bowl. You'd think, right?
I don't think the Cure Bowl is a medical bowl. I don't think that's what that is.
I thought it was. I thought it was for a cure for cancer because it's all pink.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's medical. Staff DNA, I would have thought it would have been like a DNA company, like for, what's it, 23andMe? Like that sort of thing.
Like,
where you're looking for DNA, like
your heritage, your family tree, your
DNA.
Your DNA, yeah, but your ancestors. That's kind of the word I was looking for there.
Well, no, that would be like Ancestry.com. That's not 23andMe.
Oh, it's not? I thought they were kind of the same thing.
I think 23andMe is like, it's mapping your DNA because we've mapped the human genome. Yeah.
Learning a lot from these bowl games, dude.
How about that?
Yeah, I mean.
Tomorrow there's the Xbox Bowl. I know what that is.
I've heard of that too.
Unless if that's changed. I haven't played video games probably since like 93, but I would assume that an Xbox is still an Xbox.
Still an Xbox, yes. Very much.
Do they make new Xboxes?
I think the last one they made was the Xbox One. Yeah, I know. Weird, right?
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember they went from the Xbox to the Xbox 360, and then the Xbox. There was another one in there, then the Xbox One. I think that's the last one. Let's see.
You think I would remember that? I just told you I haven't played a video game since 93.
That's true. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't. Let's see. Latest Xbox.
We'll just move on. We don't need live Googling. That's cool. We'll get back to it. But anyway, there's a lot of bowl games, and I like bowl games, and I'll watch, and I'll bet on them all, so hopefully you enjoy it as well. And Billy Lucci is going to be here in about 40 minutes or so, and we'll talk to Billy about A&M against Miami. There's a lot of people picking Miami with an outright upset in that bowl game, and I don't hate that pick. I think all all of the questions about about Texas A&M feel legitimate. Now, A&M, look, you have strikes and gutters. Clearly, I missed on a lot before the season. I had LSU and Texas in the SEC championship game. Big whiff. I did have I had South Carolina being the biggest disappointment this year because they were preseason top 10 or just outside of it, and they were awful. And I did say A&M was my team, my sort of like breakout team this year. And I didn't have them 11-1 in the college football playoff, but I did have them as my breakout team this year. And I liked their ability to play defense and run the football. And those two things are very good. However, all the criticisms of A&M or questions, I think are legitimate. That you could draw a line top half, bottom half of the SEC, and A&M's wins all came against the bottom half. And then they lost to Texas. And so I think it's a very fair question to say, okay, you step up in competition, like, how does that go? My goodness, South Carolina was up 27 on them in their building in the first half. Now, they rallied, which was incredible. But getting down 27 was also concerning, which tells you that's possible. You do that against a better team, you're not necessarily going to have the same result. So, I don't know. I think Miami has a great chance to go into Kyle Field and win that football game. So, we'll talk about it with Billy Lucci coming up here in about, it's at bottom of next hour, so about 50 minutes from right now. All right, we'll go around the SEC in just a second. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Check them out online. Go check out the Facebook page as well over at Rouse's. Holidays are near. Having those Christmas or holiday get-togethers, make sure you get by Rouse's. And love this. Right now, you can get $30 off. This is a showstopper alert. $30 off with a coupon of the 100% premium USDA Angus choice beef standing rib roast. $30 off with the coupon right now over at Rouse's. You can find out more on their Facebook page. Go to the website, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Holidays are here, y'all. Get everything you need for your party or for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Christmas dinner. They got you at Rouse's. This feels like home. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Jam Miller's good to go against Oklahoma, according to the availability report ahead of the game for Friday. Missed the SEC championship game. He's had a lot of injuries. He had the shoulder injury. He was concussed. Starting left guard Cam Dewberry also expected to return. Tight end Josh Cuevas is questionable, and LT Overton is out.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
Good news for Boomer Sooner. R. Mason Thomas was not listed on the availability report ahead of Friday's game against the Crimson Tide, meaning the dominant defensive lineman is expected to return. He missed the final 3 games of the regular season with a quad injury. First team All-SEC this year, 9.5 TFL, 6.5 sacks. That was all in just 9 games, by the way. Their center, Jake Mikula, is questionable.
The Auburn Tigers.
Starting cornerback Jay Crawford will enter the transfer portal. He was freshman All-SEC a year ago. In 2025, he did have 15 tackles, 4 PBUs, and a pick. He picked Auburn initially over LSU and Florida coming out of high school, and now Jay Crawford is hitting the portal.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Offensive lineman Trevon Baugh will enter the transfer portal, 6'4", 337. Just wrapped up his 3rd season with the Gamecocks. He's played in 35 games with 19 starts, 11 of those this year at right guard. He's the 5th Gamecock to enter the portal.
The Florida Gators.
And a quick baseball note, Coach Kevin O'Sullivan is returning to the Florida baseball program after his leave of absence. He's been away since the end of October. They didn't go into great detail about why he left, but one paper cited law enforcement records and reported that O'Sullivan had been the subject of verbal abuse allegations made by one of his teenage children. So it's been family things going on there, but nonetheless, Kevin O'Sullivan is back, and the Florida Athletic Department did say via statement that the leave of absence was unrelated to that investigation. So whatever the case may be, O'Sullivan is back on the bench now for the Gators. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood, men's sexual wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. As we head into the new year, maybe your New Year's resolution is going to be to finally get in shape, to look and feel your best. Look over at Goodwood. Remember, it's 3 businesses all in one, right? All same ownership, same complex. Goodwood is the men's clinic. They've got Unique Physique, which is the GLP-1s, right? That's semaglutide, tirzepatide, the weight loss shots. Then they got Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. That's the aesthetic clinic where they have $8 a unit Botox. They got all the laser treatments, laser hair removal, hydrofacials, body contouring, everything. And remember, lowest prices, never any contracts. Visit yourgoodwood.com. They're right there on Drusilla. Yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Okay, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break of hour number 1. We'll come back. Taylor Calandro's here for a little Bourbon Dictionary. And then in about 15 minutes, I do want to talk about Colin Hurley hitting the portal, what it means for the future of LSU's quarterback room. We'll do it. It's coming up. It's AFR.
After further review.
REV, Let's Rev, letsrev.com, letsrev.com, REV, letsrev.com. If you are not thrilled, and when I say thrilled, I mean thrilled, with your internet service provider, it's time to switch. If you get bummed out because your internet goes out, your internet is slow, your internet is buffering, and I mean at your home or at your office building, it's time to switch. Rev is awesome. Speeds up to 5 gigs, faster, more reliable internet. Their Wi-Fi equipment is included at no additional cost, and they offer 100% local service and support. So you're never routed to an overseas call center. Everyone is here. At Guarantee Media, we trust Rev. At Parish Construction and Roofing, we are Rev customers as well. 70,000 customers, homeowners, business owners, they all trust Rev, and you should as well. Let'sRev.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at fabrychevrolet.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer zero interest.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
I don't understand.
Yo, dude.
Yo, man. I was supposed to see your wife today. I just remembered that when you called, and I never heard from her.
Oh, no. Huh. Well, there are people who I'm sure are going to assume nefarious things, but that's not the point. Every year, Erica calls Taylor and gets me one very nice bottle of brown water, and I will have to remind her that she needs to do that because that's
she may have. I wasn't. I left her some stuff there with some instructions, but I never heard from her. So,
okay.
But it just. I'm sorry. Just reminded me when y'all called.
Like, why would you say that live on the air, though?
I don't know.
No, you just ruined it. That's all right. I mean, I knew it was going to happen anyway, but
it's happened every year.
No, I know. Anyway, and I do appreciate it. Just Taylor, make sure Erica gets something that because she doesn't know what she's looking for, but Taylor does, which is why you should go to Calandro's.
I think you're gonna like this.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. What's new?
We got our Four Roses barrel in, I think, last week. It's $100. It's the OPSO mash bill, which Four Roses has 10 mash bills. It's kind of confusing, but this one is one of my favorite mash bills. It's very balanced. It's a high rye mash bill, but the yeast they use in this specific, the O yeast, is fruity, so it's a good balanced whiskey. It's higher proof, which I always like higher proof Four Roses picks, especially. It's fantastic for $100. If you're looking for a good gift, a unique gift, that's definitely a good, unique gift that a whiskey person is going to love for a Christmas gift for sure.
10 out of 10 recommend. I always say, like, just because whiskey's expensive doesn't mean it's good. Just because it's good doesn't mean it's expensive. And usually, if you're going to see something on a shelf that's $100, it's probably not worth it. That's one that I'd pay $100 for all day long. It's rare to get. Sometimes, if you don't get a store pick like Calandro's, like you'd have to go to the distillery, right, and get one of the recipes, the single barrel recipes.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing some little releases of different mash bills and stuff, and they do release a single barrel that's on the shelf year round, but this is different. Yeah, I mean the barrel picks they're hard to get, and Four Roses is one of those barrels that, like, I don't buy a bunch of whiskey anymore, but like that's one of those barrels if I see in the wild at a random store out of state or something, I'll pick it up every time.
No doubt.
So I've random Four Roses picks in my house just anywhere I see them. So
y'all have it. Y'all have it available right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's only we have plenty. I haven't put anything on social media about it either. So we have plenty. And like I said, they're rare. They're not. You don't see them that often. Still. So
save me a bottle so it doesn't all go before I get over there. But I'll come after the show. Sean says, ask Taylor, does the Knob Creek Bourbon and Rye still hold the same price as last year?
Like, just the price? I'm pretty sure it's close, if not the same, yeah.
Joe
Yeah. I don't think that Knob Creek's gone up a lot at all, if any.
Joe, is Blanton's package with Peerless Single Barrel Rye for $166 a fair price?
Is Blanton's? Wait, what?
It's Blanton's and Peerless Single Barrel Rye, selling them both for $166. Is that a fair price?
He's selling them.
No, someone is selling them to him. He's trying to buy. Is that a fair price to buy?
Yeah. Sorry, I just misunderstood what the yeah.
Come on, dog.
$166.
$166 for 2 bottles.
I'd do that all day.
Okay. Dustin asked Taylor if he's seen the Jim Gaffigan comedy set about Bourbon yet.
I have not, but I'm going to go watch it.
Me either.
I love comedy.
I don't even know what that means. I think I've seen some. What does Jim Gaffigan do? I've seen he's a bearded guy, right? Like brown.
He's like pale, bigger guy. He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
He's not at the top of my list, but he's pretty good.
Jared says Taylor, Eagle Rare. What are your thoughts?
I love Eagle Rare. And if you can, we still haven't gotten any 12, but they do have a 12-year that's supposed to be a semi-regular release that we haven't gotten, but it's probably in other states. So if you see it, pick one up.
Yeah, the Eagle Rare that you'll see from time to time, which is rare, is a 10-year whiskey. So a 12, huh?
God, I'm talking about the 12 being rare. Yeah, the 10-year is rare in itself. I don't even know why I'm talking about the 12-year. The 10-year you can't get either. It's great, but good luck finding it. That's still one of the bottles that you just cannot find.
Yeah, during the last half decade, that's one that just took off in popularity and is next to impossible to find. So if you ever see Eagle Rare, just buy it.
It's still very reasonably priced too.
Yeah.
But you just can't find it. So
Taylor Calandro over at Calandro's Mid-City right there on Government Street. Pop in, say, hey, go pick up that Four Roses barrel pick. You will not be disappointed. It's $100. You will not be disappointed. I haven't tasted, but they're all amazing. Okay, we got to go. Thanks. See you.
All right, Matt. See you.
All right, man. Hour 2 coming up right after Sports Center. We'll talk about Colin Hurley hitting the portal.
After further review.
If you're in the market for a new vehicle, put Volkswagen on your list. You know, I think I've told this story before, but when I started endorsing South Point Volkswagen in 2011, I'd never driven a Volkswagen. And so I said, before I'm going to do this endorsement, I want to drive all these vehicles. So I picked out a day, and I went to the dealership, and I drove every model they had. All of them. And I was blown away. I say it every day, but like the style, feel, performance of luxury. You sit behind the wheel of a Volkswagen, and you get it. Like, it is the great German engineering, high performance, feels like you're in a spaceship, all the great technology in there. But you know you're getting great safety features and you're getting a great price. And manufactured at their Chattanooga, Tennessee plant, so manufactured in the US of A, so you're supporting Tennessee jobs. South Point Volkswagen is Louisiana's largest Volkswagen dealer, so go test drive one today. South Point Volkswagen.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A quarterback change for the Dolphins. They're benching struggling veteran Tua Tagovailoa. Rookie Quinn Ewers starts Sunday against Cincinnati. Despite the $56 million cap hit in 2026, the Dolphins need to cut Tua, advises Unsportsmanlike co-host Chris Canty.
He's not your future at the quarterback position, and quite frankly, you can't move your team forward with him being out there. You understand you're on the hook for his salary next year? Pay it. It's okay. The last thing you want to do is be tied to him beyond next year. Get rid of him. Go with a clean slate. I understand it puts you in a tough spot from a cap standpoint, but teams have found ways to be able to navigate around it.
Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has begun rehab after surgery to repair 2 torn ligaments in his left knee. The team is optimistic he could be back early next season, perhaps by week 1. Rams receiver Puka Nacua said on a live stream last night, NFL referees are the worst, and he thinks some of them make calls just to get shown on TV during games. Ohio University fired football coach Brian Smith for cause for what it said is serious misconduct. Smith plans to fight his termination.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty. Coming up Thursday, the Rams are the #1 team in my power rankings this week, but I'll tell you the fatal flaw that can keep them from a Lombardi trophy. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Dan Grocka will be here in 15 minutes. He covers the Jets up there at ESPN New York. Also, the Jets pre- and post-game host. Billy Lucci, bottom of this hour, will preview Aggies and Hurricanes in the college football playoff. Another day brought 2 more LSU Tigers declaring their intention to enter the transfer portal. Former 5-star offensive lineman Carius Curne and quarterback Colin Hurley, which is where I want to focus right now because LSU really is in a bind numbers-wise at quarterback. I don't necessarily think that Hurley entering the portal is surprising, but now that it is happening, it's worth discussing because it really puts you just from a numbers perspective in a really bad spot. Let's kind of look at Hurley's time at LSU, which is a tenure that's probably been defined more by his time off the field than his time on it. Remember, Colin Hurley was one of these prodigies. Right, he was a guy who was such a dynamic young player. He reclassified, as mature a young guy as we've ever spoken to on this show. So he graduated a year and a half early. He showed up at LSU in January of 2024 as a 16-year-old. He redshirted a season ago in 2024, backing up Nussmeier and Ricky Collins. And then right after the bowl game, as we know, he was involved in that scary auto accident. And a lot of that, I think, we knew that he took some time away. I don't think people necessarily knew just how severe that was. Seth Wickersham, who wrote a book called American Kings, it was about quarterbacks, and Colin Hurley was featured in that book. Seth Wickersham came on this show at the time the book was released, and he spent a lot of time with the Hurley family, kind of talked about that accident and the recovery.
I went down to Baton Rouge and I was with him in the ICU. I was with him in recovery, and that's a dangerous path that he was on. I'm glad that it looks like he's going to come out okay with it, but he was in an induced coma for days, and I think it was pretty clear early on that he was going to live, and that was a question at the immediate moment, but then it was like, what kind of life is he going to have? Is he ever going to play football again? What if he can't? There's some stuff in the book on there, some painful moments that I witnessed, but he did a remarkable job of retraining himself and his body to do the things that once came naturally. Thankfully he's not only recovered as a human, which wasn't clear that he would for a time, but he has, recovered as a football player, and he is, out there doing what he loves with a very new appreciation for it.
So think about how dramatic that is to hear that. I mean, he was in a medically induced coma. They weren't sure if he would live a normal life, let alone play football. So just the fact that he was back was incredible, but then he comes back, and then we saw when LSU went to Alabama, Emil Picarella made the travel roster, and Colin Hurley didn't make the trip. And then Frank Wilson the next week explained why.
He took a leave of personal related matters. It is temporary right now at this time.
Temporary at that time. That was, again, after the Alabama game. But as we know, Hurley never returned to the team, hasn't returned, and now is entering the transfer portal. So, as you look at it, it's another reminder of the challenges of trying to hit on a high school quarterback signee. But it's also a reminder of how tenuous LSU's situation is at quarterback because of the numbers. So I know that the Texas Bowl isn't at or near the top of anybody's give a darn list, but the game is coming up here in 10 days. And I don't think we anticipated they were going to have Hurley, but you'll have Michael Van Buren. Juwan Johnson, who's entering the portal, has said he will play the game. He said on the show earlier this week that he will play in the bowl game. So you'll have Johnson available. And then Emil Picarella. And, Emil is an interesting one. We've talked about him before. He's a guy from U-High here in Baton Rouge. But Emil, early in his recruitment, at one point was a top 10 quarterback in the country for the class of 2025. And as he made his way, through his offseason his senior year, the star rating and the ranking and all that stuff dropped. And he became a 3-star, and he had preferred walk-on opportunities. He had G5 scholarship offers, but he accepted a preferred walk-on at LSU because he wanted to play at LSU. His family all went to LSU. It's his dream school. So a guy that could have gone, taken an NIL deal, and started at a smaller school said, no, I'd rather just walk on at LSU and be part of the team. So Emil is an option there. So it'll be an interesting thing to see what Emil's path may be at LSU moving forward. But is an option. So you've at least got 3 guys that have been with the team and have played quarterback for the bowl game, but really everybody's attention is going to move forward to 2026. And those numbers are the most concerning because I don't know that anybody today could look at Michael Van Buren and say, yep, you're the guy, you're the odds-on favorite to be the starter. I think it's actually the opposite. If you think back to the last month with Garrett Nussmeier missing these the final month of the season, I would suggest that maybe the blessing in disguise is it allowed you these opportunities to get Michael Van Buren these starts. And while it hasn't gone well, at least you have this sample size, you have these data points from Van Buren to say, okay, we saw what that looks like and it ain't good. You got to go get other options for next year. Because if you had gone through this year with Van Buren not playing, if Nuss had played the entire season and Van Buren had not played, you could very well be going into this offseason going, there's our guy. We saw him play 8 games a year ago at Mississippi State. Bad team, true freshman, sat this year, learned, grew, developed, ready for a big opportunity next year, and then maybe you're not as aggressive in the portal because you have Van Buren here. Because you've seen it over the last month and how at times ugly it has been. I mean, he scored 13 points against Western Kentucky. It's a bad Conference USA defense. He scored 13 points. I mean, watched the Oklahoma game. So you know you have to be aggressive. Now, I think the biggest question remaining is Van Buren even back? And I don't know. I mean, if Lane Kiffin's going into the portal, which he will, of course, to go find a starter, I don't know if Van Buren's back, because Van Buren came here with the understanding he was going to sit in 25 behind Nussmeier with the likelihood of being the starter in 26. Well, now I don't think anybody thinks he's going to be the starter in 26. So does Van Buren leave. And if he does, then you have no scholarship quarterbacks on your roster. Zero. You didn't sign one here in this class. There's none really available to sign in February. So we've seen LSU go get backups in the portal before. Van Buren's one of them. They did it with A.J. Swan as well, brought him in from Vanderbilt. And Swan came here knowing he wasn't going to be the starter. He was coming in to be a backup. So there are going to be those options in the portal, but you're going to have to get at least two. I mean, at least two in the portal, and maybe try to find another body somewhere else. Unless if you look at two portal guys and then Piccarella as your third and you're content moving forward with them. But it is going to be a really tricky situation to navigate here for Lane Kiffin in this portal cycle. Because, look, I mean, he did it a year ago with Chambliss. I mean, they had, Jackson Dart was gone. They had Austin Simmons ready to take that step, and they went and got Chambliss to have a veteran guy from Division II who's going to be their depth piece. So they can find that guy. They can find that depth piece. But you're going to have to get at least two in this portal cycle if you're Lane Kiffin. With Colin Hurley now, we know, entering the portal, his time at LSU ends without ever taking a significant snap, and certainly being defined more by his time and things that happen away from the field instead of on it. Wish him well in whatever is next. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, arco.com, A-R-C-C-O, arco.com. Fantastic company, impressive company. Home base right here in Baton Rouge on Airline Highway near I-12. But they service companies and businesses all over this region. I mean, they got an office in Little Rock, Mobile, San Antonio, Houston, Austin, Dallas, all over Louisiana. The simplest way I can say it is, if you own a business, what happens when the power goes out at your business? Well, you got to have a backup energy solution. That's Arco. This is Generac industrial generator power. Everything's turnkey. They can install a generator. They can rent you a generator. They can service your generator. It's Arco. A-R-C-C-O. A-R-C-C-O. Arco.com. Arco.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Billy Lucci, bottom of this hour, will preview Texas A&M, Miami, and the college football playoff. When we come back, though, we're heading up to New York City. Dan Graca is going to be here, Jets pre- and post-game host. We'll get a thumbnail preview of Aaron Glenn's team as they come down to the Dome for Saints-Jets on Sunday. It's AFR.
AFR.
Little bit of a warm-up today, thankfully. It's 63 degrees. Those temps in the 20s were not anything I was really looking forward to, but you do know that it's only a matter of time before the cold temps, the freezing temps come back, and you're cranking up that heater again. If you've not yet had your heater safety check, it's not too late. You can call River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001. Have our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air come out, make sure that your heater is clean, tuned up, efficient, and safe for these cold weather months. Katie Leak did that. She left this 5-star Google review. Nothing but great things to say about Steven, the technician. Thorough, kind, and seemed to carry himself with excellence. Really thankful. How often do you read reviews like that about an HVAC technician? Well, if you're reading reviews from River City's 1 Hour Air, you'd read them all the time. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raising Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Who dat say they're gonna beat them Saints? Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
Saints look to make it 3 in a row. Got the Reeling Jets coming in. Dan Grassa, ESPN New York. Also pre and post for the Jets. Good enough to hang out for a couple minutes. Hey, Dan, we appreciate the time. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. How's things?
Saints have managed to win a couple of games, so actually it doesn't suck. But anyway.
Yeah, they have. They've played some good football of late. Certainly I'm watching from afar here, and, 3 division wins in the last 5 weeks doesn't hurt anybody, right?
Yeah, they've won 3 of their last 5, 3 out of 6 with Tyler Shucks starting, so there's a lot of reason for optimism. I'm not sure it's the same with the Jets, but getting a look at Brady Cook, they'll start him again this week. Can you kind of just explain why Aaron Glenn made the decision to go with Cook?
I got to be honest with you. I think it's the right decision. And I know that the last couple of weeks that Brady Cook has played, you sit there and you look at the final score and you say, okay, what am I missing? But you got to be realistic. It's about the future for the New York Jets. And I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you on the fact that Brady Cook is the long-term answer at the quarterback position. But what I can tell you is Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields are not. There's no guarantee those guys are even on the team next year. Tyrod's a free agent, and Justin Fields, given how his season is kind of gone, there's no guarantee that he's going to be back in the fold next year. So you might as well see what you have in Brady Cook. I mean, Brady Cook could be a long-term solution maybe at the backup quarterback position. And 3 weeks left in the season, you're not playing for anything significant. You might as well give the kid the reps, give him the opportunity, and see if maybe you have a diamond in the rough in some capacity as an undrafted free agent. Because the fact of the matter is, Matt, you look at the scores the last 2 games and, 2 lopsided defeats to the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Normally, when you have a undrafted free agent rookie quarterback starting, you could say, well, that's the reason we lost. It really wasn't Brady Cook the main culprit. It was the fact that the defense just could not get off the field and has been struggling mightily, and that's what led to the change of defensive coordinator this week.
Jets are 30th in the NFL in scoring defense. So you mentioned Steve Wilks fired. Dan, is he the fall guy, or was the defense bad? Because is it his fault the defense is bad?
I mean, certainly when you're the coordinator, and Aaron Glenn let him run the show defensively. Okay. This is not the Aaron Glenn system that he ran with the Detroit Lions for the past few years when he was the coordinator there. He got out of the way. They said during the offseason that this was going to be like a blend of Glenn's system and Wilks' system, but I think it ended up skewing more towards Wilks. and he gave him the autonomy with the defense, and it just didn't work. I mean, yes, I know that the Jets traded away two of their best defensive players, in Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, but, I mean, you watch these games, you got guys running wide open in the secondary. I mean, it seems like all season long, and, you know, it didn't seem like there were many strategic adjustments made throughout the course of games. I mean, I'll just give you an example the last 2 weeks here alone. I mean, both games, they're down 21-0 before you're in your seat. You know, touchdowns on the first three possessions from the opposing offenses. You guys played the Dolphins a few weeks ago, and you played them a lot more competitive than what we saw from the Jets last week. And, hey, I was led to believe the Dolphins couldn't play and Tua Tagovailoa couldn't play in cold weather. He just got benched today. He had no problem slinging the ball around in 40 degrees at the Meadowlands a couple of weeks ago. And last week, I mean, my goodness, they made Trevor Lawrence look like the second coming that we all thought that he was going to be when he was coming into the NFL draft in 2021. That was probably the best game that Trevor Lawrence played as a pro, and I think the Jet defense had a lot to do with that.
The hair kind of makes him look like the second coming also. Kind of a dead ringer.
Yeah.
If you go for like the light skin but the dark hair, you know, I mean, it does have a Jesus vibe. Around Christmas, I'm here for it. Dan Gross is with us, ESPN New York Jets pre- and post-game host as well. Hey, I'm glad you brought up Glenn. Look, people here love Aaron Glenn. I mean, he was a longtime Saints assistant before he went to Detroit as the DC. A lot of people here wanted him to be the head coach. He ultimately picked the Jets instead. Give me just a thumbnail here through 14 games of the Glenn tenure. How the record stinks, obviously, but it's not like he inherited a great situation. But how's it going so far with Aaron Glenn?
I think patience is the operative word. You know, and I think that fans were asked to be patient. I mean, look, if you're a Jet fan, you don't know any other word because you haven't been in the playoffs in 15 years. You haven't had a winning season in 10. So you're like, what's another year of, struggling? But I think next year you hope that you're going to start to see the foundation and the payoff a little bit start to produce some results. I think you're going to have to. And, Aaron Glenn, they've given him a tremendous amount of authority with this program. I mean, he essentially is the one running the show. He's got the final say. But they were going to turn things over this year. They said goodbye to some veterans. They turned over the roster. They're bringing in players that, fit his mold, if you will. Remember, they traded away guys that are considered young players that were signed to contract extensions by the previous regime, the Quinnen Williams, Michael Carter II, the Nickelback. And then this current regime, locked up Sauce Gardner over the summer only to turn around and trade him a couple of months later because the value was too good to pass up here. So they're doing it his way. But, if you don't have a quarterback, first and foremost, it's going to be tough to win games long term. And ultimately, Aaron Glenn's tenure with the Jets and Darren Muji, the GM, it's going to be defined by will they or won't they find that long-term solution at quarterback.
Yeah. A couple more as we sort of turn the page to Sunday in the Superdome. Dan, is there anything offensively that you look at and say, and the Saints have actually been really good the last 5 games defensively. Is there anything you look at offensively with the Jets and say, okay, that could be a problem for New Orleans in the Dome on Sunday?
Well, I think it depends if they can get the run game going, right? Because, they came into this season, Aaron Glenn and the first-year OC, Tanner Engstrand, they wanted to run the football. They wanted to play smash-mouth football. They know they weren't blessed with having a bunch of game-breaking weapons on offense. Garrett Wilson was essentially the only guy at the wide receiver position. You had a quarterback that you went into the year with in Justin Fields, who was a dual-threat player, can also make plays with his legs, and they committed to the run game. But now with all the injuries and everything that's happened, you have an undrafted free agent starting at quarterback. So the last couple of weeks, the opposing defenses have stacked the box considerably, and the Jets have had very little to no running room getting anything going on the ground. So Breece Hall's life has been made difficult with the run game. The thing that you take some encouragement in is that, 2 of the wide receivers that they acquired at the mid-season trades, John Mechie from the Philadelphia Eagles, the former Alabama standout, and Adonai Mitchell from the Indianapolis Colts. Those guys have shown some ability here for the handful of games that they've played. And this is playing with, revolving door at the quarterback position. Garrett Wilson's probably not going to be out there this week. I'd be shocked if we see Garrett Wilson the rest of the season, given the time he's missed. So it's far from a complete offense here, but I think the Jets' success and ultimately what Brady Cook's success is going to be this Sunday really goes back to the ability to run the football. If they can run the football, it'll free things up for the quarterback to maybe make some plays down the field, open up the play-action game, which I think would help him considerably.
What about Mason Taylor?
Mason Taylor's been ruled out of the game already this week,
Oh, wow,
which,
okay.
I guess a couple of weeks ago in that Dolphin game, he suffered a neck injury, and he missed last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's not going to play this week. I hope that it's not a season-ending thing, because obviously when you're 3-11 and you're playing out the strings, some guys with bumps and bruises, they just say, hey, this guy's a part of our future. Let's exercise caution. Let's not rush him back out there. I really hope that we get to see Mason Taylor at least the last couple of games of the season because, he's somebody that I think has a lot of ability, and he's shown you some good things. You guys know down there, him being an LSU Tiger. But I think with all the changes this year on offense, the quarterback situation, I don't think we saw the best of what Mason Taylor's skill sets are going to be able to provide for this offense. So the more reps, the better. But next year, I'm really expecting some good things in year number 2 from him. We like him a lot.
Dan Grassa, ESPN New York, Jets pre and post. It'll be the Saints and the Jets Sunday in the Dome. Last thing, if the Jets do come down and pull the Saints are a slight favorite. If the Jets come down and pull the upset, what does that blueprint look like, Dan?
The blueprint is going to be what we touched on offensively. Defensively, they're going to have to get some heat on the quarterback. And we've seen Tyler Shuck make some plays with his legs. Remember, he had the 2 rushing touchdowns in the game in Tampa Bay in the rain a couple of weeks ago there. They just haven't been able to generate any pressure on the quarterback. The last 5 games, I think they have a total of 5 sacks. So the opposing quarterbacks are just way too comfortable back there. And that was also one of the things you could point to with the Steve Wilkes scheme is that even when they would bring the heat and blitz, it wasn't really anything that I think would throw off the opposing offense to confuse them. It was pretty easy to diagnose. So they're going to have to find a way to get pressure on Tyler Shuck. If not, he could be standing back there and picking apart that secondary, which we've seen too many quarterbacks do here this year, unfortunately.
Saints and Jets Sunday in the Dome. First time in 4 years. These teams will tangle. See how it goes down with a couple teams with rookie head coaches trying to finish strong. Dan Grassa, ESPN New York. Appreciate the time, man. Merry Christmas to you and yours.
Same to you guys. I'm looking forward to the nice weather down in New Orleans this weekend, making the trip. So hopefully that'll be fun.
I hope it cooperates, Dan, because we had temps in the 20s earlier this week. So hopefully it's 63 right now. So hopefully the warm up stays for you, man. Thank you.
Well, last Sunday woke up to a snowstorm in New York when we were getting ready to play down in Florida. So this time of year, unfortunately, we're hoping for the best.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it, Dan.
Be good.
All right, that's Dan Grosser from ESPN New York. Jets pre and post. Hopefully the weather cooperates this weekend. I mean, the game will be in a dome, so that'll be good. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah. They do shutters, too. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Hey, listen, as you maybe head toward the holidays, maybe get a little time off, you're spending more time around your home, maybe it's time to look at what needs some upgrading as we turn the calendar to 2026. Maybe it's your windows. Maybe it's a beautiful entry door. Hardy plank vinyl siding, things that can make your home more energy efficient. Beautify the exterior of your home. Increase your home's resale value. And remember, at Relief Windows, you get a true lifetime transferable warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. So you do this once, and you're done forever. If you're building a home, tell your contractor you want them to use Relief Windows. So when you install windows at the build, you're done forever. It's Relief Windows. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, let's after further review. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Russ Mitchell in 1 hour. We'll talk to Russ about the Heisman. Of course, he is a Heisman voter, so he'll reveal his ballot. We'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll preview the college football playoff games with Russ coming up in 1 hour from right now. When we come back, we've done it the past couple of days. We looked at Alabama. We looked at Oklahoma. Come back, our buddy Billy Lucci from Texags will be here. We'll preview Texas A&M against Miami from College Station. That's next on AFR.
AFR.
Y'all check out Glow Resources. If you're a business owner or if you're the HR manager, hiring manager, the VP, the operations manager, if you're the person in charge of hiring at your business, you need to know Glow Resources. Because at Glow Resources, they specialize in finding you the right people to make your business the most efficient it can be. Now, they specialize in skilled blue-collar labor. So, no, if you've got that giant project coming up and you're looking for welders or pipe fitters or crane operators or whatever it may be, that heavy machinery operators, Glow Resources can find qualified people who meet the specifications, the skill set required to do the job right, and who are going to be reliable people. It's Glow Resources. They also have their professional placement division. So any type of office job, from office managers to the C-suite, you want Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Our college football playoff is this weekend. The first round, Texas A&M will host Miami. Our buddy Billy Lucci, TexAgs.com, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes, give us a preview of it. Yo, man, how are you?
Doing good, Maddie. How are you, buddy?
Man, I'm doing really well. Looking forward to some downtime here around the holidays. I don't imagine that it will be calm at all in College Station this weekend. Give us a vibe check, man, here in year 200 Elko to be in the playoff and to be hosting a game at Kyle Field this weekend.
Pretty incredible. I mean, I didn't have it on the bingo card. I think I was kind of thinking, you know, honestly, high end this year to me was looking at that schedule before the season. You know how it changes as the season goes on, but looking at it, I think I was a game above most people at 9-3. Some people I saw at 7-5, but I thought they were going to make a jump, but I thought the schedule was going to kind of mitigate that jump a little bit. So I thought, you know, who knows? Maybe a 9-3 SEC team could get in the playoff this year as a fifth team. So that was kind of what I was thinking as the target in my eyes. But 11-1, never would have seen that coming. The jump they made, individual players, I think Colin Klein as an OC, Marcel Reed, and just the program in general to go from 8-4 to 11-1 was completely unexpected. But you did expect this program to improve under Elko, and yeah, there's a definite sense of excitement, not just for right now, but for where the program's headed in the next few years under him in terms of just kind of keeping this thing going.
I'm glad you brought up Colin Klein because that is one of the interesting storylines in this play for so many coaches that are going to be leaving for head coaching jobs. You know, Klein's going to go be the head coach at Kansas State, but he will coach the Aggies throughout the playoff. Billy, how's that working with Klein just functionally doing two jobs at once?
All right, now it's fine. I think, you've got 3 weeks to get ready for a football game when normally you've got, several days. So I think that part is fine. I think where you potentially run into an issue with people like Klein and Will Stein and some of these coordinators that are going to be moving, I think where you run into the issue is later in the playoff because, that transfer portal opens, January 2nd?
Yeah.
So you've got coaches sitting there working at one school, about to take over as a head coach somewhere else. As we all know, there's a lot of prep that goes into that. I think you can manage putting together a coaching staff and things like that and game planning for a team in 3 weeks. I think it's beyond that as you approach, like if A&M or Oregon's going to win, no offense to the
Dukes
folks in New Orleans. Yeah, I mean the Dukes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tulane and Ole Miss. But, yeah, Oregon's going to win. So if A&M beats Miami, you're playing right before that date starts. And I think then it starts to get a little more distracting, and then obviously as you go on. So I think for this one, it's fine.
Okay. Billy Lucci, Tex Ags, is here. When I look at A&M, Billy, if there is a devil's advocate point of view about A&M, it's, okay, well, they went 11-1, but you draw a line in the conference standings, and all the teams they beat are on the lower half of the conference, and then they lose to Texas the way they did. So do you call into question their ability to compete against better teams? What would be your rebuttal to that doubt that maybe that Texas game cast on this Aggie team?
My rebuttal, first of all, I think it's more than just the Texas game. I think you have to go and say Texas game and that first half against South Carolina. Those are the last two SEC games. So I think that's a fair concern, and I think A&M dropped probably too low than they should have. This whole schedule thing to me is stupid all year. I honestly, it sounds crazy. I think it's because people.
Hey, Billy, hang on one second. Muse, hang up. Billy, we're going to dial you right back. We just got you in a bad spot. Hang on. We're going to call you right back. I don't know what's going on with the cell phone, but we'll get Billy right back because I want that point because I think that's really important. You started talking about Texas and then also the first half against South Carolina. So I don't want to lose that point. We'll get to that. We'll get some thoughts on this matchup with A&M and Miami. Good opportunity to remind you about Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Drink Evamore, healthier, alternative, natural, artesian water, and a Louisiana product available at great local retailers. Ask for it by name whenever you go into your grocery store, your convenience store, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. And as always, if you can't find it at a local retailer, you can always find it online at Evamore.com. You can shop online or you can find the store nearest you that has it. Go to EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Okay, we got Billy back. Sorry about that, Billy. All right, so you were saying it was just Texas. It was the first half against South Carolina when they got down 27, and then we sort of lost you there. So if you would pick up there, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I just think, there's a legitimate concern there in terms of, is A&M, have they lost that wave they were riding right through Baton Rouge? And I think even a couple weeks later at Missouri, that didn't come easy, but the 21-point or 21-point win on the road in Columbia. They just haven't, for two games, they hadn't played that well. Then you make Samford in between, so you just wonder how much momentum they've got. But the reality, too, Matt, is that I don't think people are saying is the other two halves of those games, the Aggies are up 10-3 against Texas at halftime. They've held the Longhorns to a field goal in the first half on the road. And then that second half against South Carolina, they outscored them 28-0. So it's not like it's just been bad football. The reality is they had a bad half in Austin in the second half of that game and still were a 3-point game with, 5 or 6 minutes left to go. So I think people overreacted, but I do think there are concerns because you have 5 turnovers by Marcel in the last 2 SEC games, and you had, I think, 2 really good halves of football and 2 bad ones. So it's like, does this break help? A&M needed to get healthy. The receivers were all battling sprained ankles down the stretch, and then, do you get Le'Veon Moss back on Saturday?
Yeah, could you dig a little deeper there, Billy? That was the next thing I wanted to ask, was about the time off, and what were the Moss is one, I think, of course, Baton Rouge guy everybody here is aware of, but the injury situation for A&M going into this game, any notable absences or guys worth watching?
I don't think there's going to be any notable absences. The question will be, like, Bethel Roman seemed to have been the most banged up at the end of that Texas, or it happened during that Texas game. I watched him limping off the field pretty significantly, and then he's practicing right now. But, we had practice video yesterday. He looked a little slowed still, but he was a full go at practice. So the interesting one would be, Craver and Concepcion were kind of just wear and tear of the season. Concepcion kept playing through an ankle. Craver had been slowed for really about a month, even prior to LSU. He'd been dealing with it, and I think it got to him pretty good, maybe even late in that LSU game. I'm not sure if it was that one or the next one, but he's been dealing with that for a while, and those 2 guys are good to go. They're 100%. They're getting Scooby Williams back, who's been out about 6 weeks. I think maybe the Florida game for him. And then obviously Le'Veon Moss is the big one, because, man, Lev, when he left, was on track for felt like one of those 150-plus yard games against Florida, like the one he had, and he went for like 140 against Auburn a couple weeks earlier. And he hurt that ankle. I believe he had the tightrope surgery, and they've been holding him back. They've said from day one to me, like, probably around maybe Texas. That was optimistic. If not, the postseason, if we're fortunate enough to get there. And here we are. And Moss was a full participant in practice yesterday. He's a big deal because no one's really been able to run on Miami this year. And if you look at Texas A&M's numbers, even when they've had to earn it, Matt, Missouri's a game that's a good example. Auburn's a game that's an example. Florida, they were consistently running for 180 yards plus and usually 200 plus as a team. Obviously, they were unable to do that against Texas. South Carolina, they didn't. They fell behind by so much. Part of that's because they couldn't run in the first half. So they don't win this Saturday without establishing something. And because it takes so much of that pressure off of Marcel and lets him operate on play action and have time to throw, which, when he does that, then also his time to run evolves as well, as those DBs get to chasing the receiver. So they have to run the football, in my opinion. And man, it's hard to do without Le'Veon, because I think before he was hurt, he was shaping up to be one of the 2 or 3 best backs in the league.
Yeah. Miami is 6th in America in scoring defense, 13.8 points per game. So, this could be a really interesting defensive matchup with these 2 teams. Billy, if I asked you, because, look, you've obviously spent 2 weeks now looking up and down and over Miami every which way. What do you think is the matchup, maybe a problem Miami could cause for Texas A&M that you think is the matchup to watch Saturday morning?
I think a lot of it that concerns me is like pressure up the middle, like inside pressure from those interior guys, or any kind of games or twists they do to get Bain and Mesidor rushing between the tackles. What South Carolina and Texas were able to do is get pressure in Marcel's face. That's not just Marcel. That's every quarterback. But him in particular, if he can, like I said earlier, if he can execute off play action. So I worry about Miami stuffing that A&M run game, getting A&M into predictable downs, and getting interior pressure where Marcel, those DNs are scary, but when that's the beauty of having a quarterback like Marcel Reed. And you guys saw it in Baton Rouge. There were plays where the Tigers got pressure. Marcel you saw it for 2 years with Jaden Daniels to the highest degree. Mm-hmm. But those guys that can step up and go to the right or left, and all of a sudden everything opens up to run or pass. Marcel's so great at that. If it's coming up between the tackles, that's where he really struggles. I think, in terms of like his timing and vision down the field. A&M doesn't have the biggest set of pass catchers running down that secondary either. So that would be my concern. But I think Miami's got a concern of their own, and it has to do with the I think everywhere you see Miami that's a concern, they have to be the same way about it. Oh, you worried about Bain? Well, you should worry about Cassius Howell. You worried about a big physical O-line? Check. You worried about Malachi Toney? There's a guy named Casey Concepcion that pretty much those two guys do the same thing. You can really go up and down. If you're an Aggie, are you worried about Marcel and ball security? Well, Carson Beck, same pattern for him sometimes. Same thing I said about the pressure. So it's a fascinating game, Matt. I'm having a really hard time picking it. I think it's like a 24-20, 24-21 type of game either way. I think a lot of defense, some offense because both teams have too many playmakers. But I think it's going to be who can hold in there and stand in against the run better. A&M's going to have to ride this Kyle Field crowd because I do think it makes them a lot better defensively when they're playing at home.
Line is Aggies 3.5, so you're tap dancing right around it. Boy, that'd be a fun game to watch if it plays out that way. Hopefully we get some really entertaining football this weekend. Billy Lucci, TexAgs.com. You'll give him a follow at Billy Lucci. Appreciate it, man. Merry Christmas to you and yours, all right?
Merry Christmas, Matt. See you guys.
All right, man. We'll see you. It's after further review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. You can always call 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020 or go to williamsoneye.com. If you're 60 or over and cataracts are making your vision cloudy or dull, you have options. The Williamson Eye Center has a quick vision self-test on their website. So you go do that at williamsoneye.com, williamsoneye.com, and then you can schedule your exam. Give them a call to learn more about the modern cataract and vision correction solution. So no matter your age or your refractive issue, our friends at the Williamson Eye Center have a solution. So schedule that consultation or start there at the website at williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. Okay, y'all, we'll knock out our final break here of hour number 2. Muse will do Tigers in the pros. In 15 minutes, I do want to talk about Carius Curne going into the transfer portal. If you missed it, we opened the show today talking about Frank Wilson, heading over to Ole Miss. Hour 2, we opened talking about Colin Hurley going into the portal. We'll open hour 3 talking about Carius Curne and the future of the LSU offensive line. So that's coming up in a bit. And Russ Mitchell in 30 minutes from right now. Glad you're hanging out. It's a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Hey, look, as we start to look ahead to 2026, and you're going to have an event coming up, you got to remember Renaissance Baton Rouge. I'm not sure there's a better place in all of Baton Rouge to host your event than Renaissance Baton Rouge. With 13,000 square feet of meeting space, it is perfect. Their grand ballroom can host 500 people. Maybe you need something quaint and intimate. They have these gorgeous boardrooms where you can have all the technology plugged in. A dozen people. You have all the technology plugged in. They can cater your board meetings as well for a dozen people or anything in between. Allison Crump, the events coordinator, both Renaissance and Watermark, give her a shout. And I love what she says. We're in the business of saying yes. So they can manipulate their space to fit whatever size gathering you have. It's Watermark Downtown and Renaissance Southtown right there on Bluebonnet. Watermark and Renaissance Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they're telling me, and they keep me right.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Always appreciate our friends at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Remember, they got everything. ED treatments, hormone replacement therapy. If you are currently on HRT at another clinic, y'all, it is worth looking at. Like, Goodwood has the lowest prices, never any contracts. There are some places I've learned that actually charge membership fees, which is absurd. If you're paying a membership fee at your HRT clinic, stop, switch immediately. I used to be at another clinic. I'm not anymore. I'm at Goodwood. And when you get your blood labs every 6 months, they don't charge you for that. They pick up that cost. So you're going to save money. You're going to get a great experience, great people. Your medicine shipped direct, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Okay, Muso, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, so on Monday, the Washington Commanders shut Jaden Daniels down for the season. He had his first meeting with the media since then and talked extensively about the injuries and this year, which he described as, quote, super frustrating. He said he doesn't want to miss any games at all. It's just disappointing. But he did mention that longevity, quote, longevity is a big thing, so you want to be smart with this, end quote. He understands. He will remain on the active roster, so he will be able to practice. He just will not play in any games. Of course, missed 2 games with the sprained knee, and then this extended period of time that he has missed has obviously come off the dislocated elbow. Daniels described both injuries as unavoidable and kind of just freak injuries throughout the game. Hopefully a better and healthier season for JD5 in 2026. Mason Taylor officially out per Aaron Glenn earlier on Wednesday for the Saints game on Sunday. Good news for Ali Gay and the Tennessee Titans. Ali designated from a return from IR. Practice today was limited. We'll see if he's on the field for the Titans come Sunday. And Ben told you obviously about Jaden Daniels there. NBA tonight. Sorry, I lost my spot. NBA tonight. You can watch it on NBA TV if you have that. Timberwolves and Naz Reid, they host the Grizzlies. He's the only former Tiger in action in the association tonight, as there's only 2 games. That's Tigers and the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. It's not too late, y'all. It's not too late. It's not too late, not too late. If you need to buy that perfect gift for him or her on your list, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Maybe it's that beautiful diamond engagement ring, or maybe it's that necklace, the pendant, watches, bracelets, earrings, everything for him or her. Gents, of course, if you want to thrill her, you can do so with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You're always going to get the Lee Michaels experience, a great selection, and fair pricing. It's the big differentiator. The big box stores, it tends to be cookie cutter. You go to boutique jewelers, you're going to get a smaller selection and you're going to overpay. You go to Lee Michaels, because they have the buying power of 10 stores, you're going to get an amazing selection and a great price, and always the Lee Michaels experience. LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Been a really busy show. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. We did open the show talking about Frank Wilson going to Ole Miss. It's interesting because, naturally, I think from the Ole Miss side of things, they're looking at Austin Thomas and Frank Wilson, Pete Golding being from Hammond, as that sort of triumvirate being able to build real inroads to recruiting in Louisiana. And I'm sure if the tables were turned, I'd feel the exact same way. I do just look at the way Lane Kiffin has shown how he wants to build a roster, and it's just different. He's going to build with an emphasis on the transfer portal and not recruiting high school kids. I mean, we're about to, right at the Sports Center, we're going to talk about Carius Curne. It's a 5-star offensive lineman who's been 1 year in Baton Rouge. Now he's in the portal. You look back at Lance Hurd, a 5-star offensive lineman, 1 year in Baton Rouge, left in the portal. Would you rather the guy that's played 27 career games in the Power 4 and is a plug and play? Kiffin would. It's AFR.
AFR.
Had a great time on Tuesday night at the Our Lady of the Lake Christmas party. Just amazing people, and they've been great partners of ours as well. And whenever I talk about Our Lady of the Lake, it's everything from the Franciscan missionaries of Our Lady, of course, the sisters, and their calling with this amazing healthcare system that they built for more than a century. And then all the wonderful doctors and nurses and staff members, people that operate the FMOL health system, of which Our Lady of the Lake is part of, and their great partnership with LSU. I mean, they're synonymous. When you think Our Lady of the Lake, you should think LSU. When you think LSU, you should think Our Lady of the Lake. Of course, we've talked about how Our Lady of the Lake has agreed to be the naming rights partner of the new basketball arena when ultimately that is built. But if it's on the court, in the classroom, all over Louisiana, OLOL.com/
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
My father, J.B. Falgout, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgout.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Dolphins have benched quarterback Tua Tagovailoa and will start rookie Quinn Ewers Sunday against the Bengals. 2025 has been a nightmare for Miami and Tua, and looking around the AFC, the Dolphins have no choice but to move on from him, believes our Harry Douglas.
He hasn't lived up to the way that he's supposed to play within the confines of this offense. When I look at a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, I look at Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, those guys, if the play in structure breaks down, I have faith that those guys can make an offensive coordinator right. Or they can make great defensive play call wrong. I don't feel that way about Tua.
Zach Wilson's the backup this week with Tagovailoa, the emergency QB. Tua's cap hit for 2026 is $56 million. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has begun rehab following surgery to repair 2 torn ligaments in his left knee. Team's optimistic he could be back early next season. Rams receiver Puka Nacua on a live stream last night said NFL referees are the worst, and some make calls just to get shown on TV during games.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Goodwood and then Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Gotta pace myself.
It's hump day.
Gotta save the voice.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
What's left of it?
Hump day.
Frank Wilson.
It's hump day.
Going to Ole Miss.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's a bummer, man.
Hump day.
It's a bummer.
It's hump day.
But I think LSU is going to be fine.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Talked about that in hour 1.
Hump day.
Colin Hurley gone.
It's hump day.
Saints have, LSU has one quarterback.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And it's Michael Van Buren.
Hump day.
Not good.
It's hump day.
I think it's going to be fine.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Carius Curne hit the portal.
Hump day.
Not good.
It's hump day.
I don't think it's going to be fine.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Russ Mitchell in 12 minutes.
Hump day.
Not good.
It's hump day.
But I think it's going to be fine.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Billy Lucci was here.
Hump day.
Dan Grassa from ESPN New York talking Jets was here.
It's hump day.
Taylor Calandro was talking booze.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Yeah, we got a ton on the show today, and glad you're hanging out. We'll get cranked up here in hour number 3 because we got to get to Russ here in just a smidge. So another day brought 2 more LSU Tigers declaring their intention to enter the transfer portal. Quarterback Colin Hurley and former 5-star offensive lineman Carius Curne has also announced that he will enter the transfer portal when it opens on January the 2nd. Curne is a bummer, man, because he was a bright spot on a bad unit. I think objectively we would all look and say that the offensive line was the worst position group on this LSU team. They were 88th in the country in sacks allowed. They were 120th in the country in rushing offense. Now, you don't put all of that on the offensive line. It's the backs, it's the scheme, it's the development, it's a lot of that stuff. But this was a bad unit. And on this bad unit, Curne was kind of a little glimmer of hope. This guy who coming out of Arkansas a season ago, out of the state of Arkansas a season ago, on 3, rated him as a 5-star, the number 28 overall prospect in America. In the composite, he was a composite 4-star when you blend all the rankings together, and the number 49 overall prospect. And I can't help but remember, all throughout fall camp, Curne was working behind Tyree Adams at left tackle, and then 2 weeks before the opener against Clemson, Curne's out there taking first-team reps at right tackle. They were trying to push Weston Davis. And they could have put any number of veterans over there. They could have put Ori Williams. They could have put Bo Bordelon. They could have put different guys there, and instead they put the true freshman out there. And I think it showed the upside he's got at 6'4", 320. We've all seen the viral clips of him doing a backflip. Like, he is the giant human that is also the explosive athlete with good feet that can play out on an island in the SEC. And he kind of proved it, the first opportunity that he had to get out there. If you remember, now he played a smidge against Louisiana Tech and then really got some extensive action against Southeastern. But then the Ole Miss game rolls around and Weston Davis gets concussed in pregame warmups. Jack Pyburn hits him. He breaks his nose. He's got a concussion. He's out. And remember, you didn't have DJ Chester available. Chester got flagged for targeting in the second half against Southeastern. So Chester at that time was your 6th man. And so Curne has to spot duty, go start at right tackle on the road against top 10 Ole Miss and all that stuff. And he actually, his pass block grade was an 80. He was your highest graded offensive lineman on PFF in that game. And when the second half started and Chester was available to go in, they didn't replace Curne. They let Curne stick with it and play the entire game. And afterwards, Brian Kelly explained why.
Because what we saw in the first half, essentially, I think if there were major issues, Matt, Brad and I would have probably made a decision there to make the change. But we felt like Carius was giving us good energy. He was protecting our edge really well in the passing game. There were a couple of mistakes inside out, which we expected that was going to happen. But by and large, we felt like let's let the young guy play. And that was kind of our sense.
They compared him to Emory Jones. Look, he's going to make mistakes, but, fast, physical, aggressive, big, explosive. So you could see, that comp is great. Jones ended up being a 3-year starter here. So, that's a real, a very good rising prospect. Now, you talk to people around the program. The thing about Curne this year is he played in just 7 games. He made 5 starts, 4 at left and 3 at right as far as his games played. But he probably has a lot of maturing to do emotionally, growing up to do. And I think that we started to hear those whispers in fall camp. Look, the final Saturday before Clemson LSU held a scrimmage and Curne didn't participate. And as I understand it, that was kind of his decision not to participate, Curne's decision not to participate in that scrimmage. So I think some of that even limited his growth and production and development there. But man, such a high ceiling for Carius Curne. And so as I look at this is the first one I would say that really I think hurts. Like, some of the lesser used receivers like Kylan Billiot, Jelani Watkins, you understand it. Juwan Johnson going in the portal, looking for somewhere where he can sort of establish himself and find some consistency at a position that he can grow and develop. Curne's a guy that I think would have had a really good chance to be a starter next year had he stayed. And I don't know where he lands. There's some rumblings about Austin Thomas maybe trying to get him to Ole Miss, and maybe that happens. But when I look at LSU's offensive line from this season and going into next year, the real interesting thing for me anyway is going to be, okay, you look at all these guys that played a lot on the offensive line, and you have a lot of guys that got a lot of experience, right? Just if you're looking at snap counts, Josh Thompson had the most snaps of anybody on offense. Any position, 787 snaps. That was the most of anybody on the offense. But next was Weston Davis, and then Cohen Eccles, and then Braylon Moore. And Moore could very well come back, or he could choose to go pro. But Davis, Eccles, Moore, Tyree Adams had 463 snaps. Obviously would have been more but for the injury. Curne was at 305. Chester was at 291. Mabenga was at 244. You got snaps. You got guys, a lot of guys that played a lot of football. So you ask yourself the question, would you rather have back these guys that everyone I just mentioned was like a high 4 or 5-star guy? I mean, Weston Davis was a 5-star that everybody wanted. Cohen Eccles, you got to flip from Texas A&M. These are all very talented football players. DJ Chester, Tyree Adams, top 200, top 100 overall players in the country. And so I look at it and I go, man, did LSU misevaluate on every one of these guys? Or was the scheme bad, the coaching bad? Was it sort of all of it? And so I can't help but wonder, what Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock are going to choose to do here. I don't think there's any doubt, you would, number one, love to have Braylon Moore back. If you could start there with Braylon Moore as your starting center, right in the middle of your offense, and he was your best offensive lineman this year, that would be huge to get Braylon Moore back. And then if you go in the portal, let's say, and you sign a guard and a tackle that have starting experience, great. Now, 3/5 of your line are locked down with not just starters, but good, talented starting players. And then you've got everyone else I just mentioned. Adams, Eccles, Chester, Mabenga, all of them Davis, that could compete for the other two spots, a guard and a tackle spot. And maybe between now and January 2nd, more guys enter the portal. We'll see how it happens. And maybe Braylon Moore doesn't return. But I don't know that I'm ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater with this offensive line, because I think I know you have physically gifted players that in a better scheme with better coaching could realize their potential. You marry that with some portal additions, and I think you could be good. But I don't know what Kiffin and Glasscock are going to prioritize here. Are they going to prioritize consistency and bringing back these guys that got a lot of experience? Or are they going to go look in the portal to bring in 3, 4, 5 new starters on this offensive line? That is going to be, quarterback is going to be the most important thing they address. The most interesting thing, I think, is going to be the offensive line, because you have this weird conundrum of a bunch of dudes that were super highly rated, that have all played a bunch of football, but they haven't played well. So do you believe you can coach them up to realize their physical potential, or do you have to go in the portal and remake that whole room, or does the truth lie somewhere in between? What we do know is Carius Curne's going to the portal. He won't be a part of it. And another reason why Lane Kiffin is choosing to build through the portal because you spend all the assets, all the resources recruiting high school players like Carius Curne. You get them here after 1 year, portal. Why? When you can go in the portal and sign a guy that's played in 38 career games, that's plug and play, ready to go, and is going to be a much better player than a true freshman cutting their teeth. Again, it's a different way to do it, but it's the way Lane Kiffin is choosing to do it. And it's hard to argue with the results. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break, y'all. Come back. Russ Mitchell will be here. It's AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, offices all over the state of Louisiana. Hey, listen, maybe you're traveling this Christmas season, and if you find yourself, unfortunately, in an accident and you're injured and it's not your fault, remember our friends at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, and they're always there 24/7. So if you want, you can log on to the website at getgordon.com. You can reach out there. There's a little chat bubble in the bottom of the website, bottom left of the website, or on the mobile site as well. And you tap the little chat bubble, and immediately you can be chatting with an associate there at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Remember, their offices are all over the state of Louisiana as well, so you never have to travel. They have an office near you, and you can find out all this, client testimonials, everything at the website, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Trust isn't given. It's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires. Russ! Literally.
While I'm proud of Russ, I think Russ deserves it.
It's football! Rusty, come on up here.
Ferris is not a state. It's a wheel.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ. How are things out there at DBU? I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
The only way you can point up is up.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
Just like Troy.
Can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Put your foot on his throat and choke him out.
Take it, Russ.
Where is Ferris State?
Moose squeezed a new one in there.
Where is Ferris State?
It's not a state. It's a wheel.
Where is Ferris State?
I got no idea. Kansas?
Michigan.
Michigan.
So
okay.
good.
All right.
I don't care. Not a lick. How are you?
Kicking tires, lighting fires, baby.
I love to hear that. Nice jacket, by the way. Show the people.
Thank you.
Look at that. National championship officially licensed merch there from LSU Clemson. A game you didn't attend because you're a coward and you believe in stupid jinxes, which there's no way that team could have played the Kansas City Chiefs and they were going to beat them by 50. You would have had nothing to do with it.
Yes, but you collected some confetti for me, so thank
I
you.
did. Do you know how much of a loser I felt like? Here I am, credentialed working media. I had to go over when the game ends, trophy, celebration. I had to stealthily meander to the LSU bench, and I put my backpack on the ground. And I sat on the bench, and when I thought no one was looking, I just hurriedly grabbed handfuls of confetti and threw it into my backpack so I could mail it to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hidden that. I would have just reached down on the middle of the field and grabbed it. I don't care.
That is a difference between
I don't
you
care.
and
I mean, I don't care at all. I'm one of the few people that actually cheers in the press box, but I cheer for both teams, so that sort of makes it okay. I cheer for good plays.
No, that's not okay. That's a good way to
I don't care.
That's a good way to get ejected from the press box.
I've never been ejected.
Pat Forty had Bobby Hebert thrown out of the press box in the 2012 LSU-Alabama game for cheering.
I like Pat. I'm a friend of
I don't.
Pat, but
I don't like Pat at all. I think Pat's a jerk. And if I saw him right now, I'd probably punch him in the face. Huh? What was that?
Nothing. I was talking about somebody I don't like, but let's change the subject.
All right. Fernando Mendoza won the Heisman. You can reveal your ballot now. So how'd you do it?
I can. I had Pavia 1, Mendoza 2, and Chambliss 3.
Okay. Do you think that if Chambliss had played 12 games, he would have won it?
Yes.
Why do you think Marcel Reed didn't get more attention?
I don't think he's that good. I mean, he's I'm sorry, I don't think he's that good. I think he's a decent quarterback, and with a couple more years, he could be, as long as he continues to improve every year. But I mean, all of the quarterbacks had, including Chambliss, in many cases, had better statistics. He was inconsistent in whole halves repeatedly. The team was offensively slow in spurts. I didn't even consider him as a top 10 myself.
Whole halves. Is that an oxymoron? Whole halves? Yeah, how about that?
Don't just tell Moose not to add it to the up is up kills me. My daughter saved that. And when I text her, it says, every time I text her, it says the only way to point up is up. So no more adding that.
Oh, man. Okay, so why did you vote Pavia?
I thought he played for, first of all, he played the toughest opponents. I mean, I really like Mendoza. I love what he did. I think he's a great quarterback, and I think there's a good chance he'll be good at the NFL. But going into before that last weekend, right? And I voted as soon as the ballots opened on Friday night. And he played one defense, Oregon, one defense. And, it's interesting because people were talking, everyone was saying, his Ohio State performance was, average 15 of 23 for 222 yards, one touchdown, one interception. But they played Oregon. I was like, dude, did you watch the game? It was a convincing win, but he was at the exact same stat line, 20 of 30, 215 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Everybody else Indiana played was bupkis.
So why did you vote him second?
So I know they went 13-0, but if they played Alabama and at Texas, Indiana's got 2 losses.
So why did you vote him second then? Why was he even on your ballot?
Actually, it's interesting because I didn't vote Love, and I would not have voted Love in the top 3. I really considered moving Chambliss over Mendoza. It's kind of shocking to me because Mendoza had a record Heisman. He was on 95% of the ballots, which I agree. I wasn't going to leave him off my top 3. But I seriously considered moving Chambliss up. He had the same yards per attempt average, a better TD to interception ratio than Mendoza, against significantly better competition. We're talking about Chambliss right now. The only problem is he didn't play in 2 games and didn't play full in he basically missed 3 to 4 games.
So
I put Mendoza.
I don't mean to belabor the point, but I'm curious. So if we're saying Mendoza, the statistics weren't there, and he only played 1 defense, and in that game the statistics weren't good, then why was he on your ballot?
Well, the statistics were there. The total
Not
statistics
really,
were
Russ.
there.
He threw for 2,800 yards. It wasn't a really impressive statistical year for Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, I would disagree. I think that he did. I think that, obviously he doesn't have the Burrow numbers because Burrow is unique. He's a standout and shouldn't be really compared against. But, I thought that he led his team to the number 1 ranking. It was statistically shocking that it came from Indiana, a program that has never had anybody, win the Heisman or have this kind of season. So when you add all that up and you add up the breadth of his total statistics, and the fact that he led the team that beat Oregon in Autzen and Ohio State. But I still thought Pavia's season was better than Mendoza's, given the competition.
He was 25th in passing yards. That's not elite. He was looking for his passing touchdowns. He wasn't even in the top 50 in passing touchdowns.
I didn't say elite.
But isn't by no, I'm sorry. He led the country with 33 touchdowns. Forgive me. So the touchdowns were there. Forgive me, but the yards he was 25th. So, but by nature of the fact that you win the Heisman, you're saying that this person is elite.
Well, look at the competition he was up against. Julian Sand. I can't believe that they were considering. I don't even think. First of all, Julian wasn't even that critical to his team. And remember, this is not an MVP award. It's not the most valuable to your team player. It's the most outstanding player for the year. And I think Julian didn't fit that, given the scope of his team. He wasn't that important. And the fact that, he played poorly in the 2 games that he had to play. But, you could pretty much say the same thing for Diego, except for the fact that if you encompass the entire Texas game, which they only lost by 3, he still had 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Sand never did anything like that. And all this talk about Jeremiah Love would not have been on my top 5.
So for you, is it just a quarterback award then?
No, I don't think it should be. For me, Love wasn't on my top 5 because he only ran for 1,300 yards, 1,372. Remember, Hardy from Missouri ran for more yards than Love did this year against a tougher schedule. Ashton Genty had 2,600 yards last year. There were 10 running backs last year that had more yards than Love did this year. Cam Scadaboo had 1,700 last year. 1,300 is not enough. If you want to say something about
Genty also had 200 more attempts last year.
Yeah, I know.
He carried the ball almost 400 times last year.
The bottom line is, in 2008, we changed how we put the ball back into play in college football. And since 2008, it's given an advantage to the offense. And since 2008, you've seen the quarterback become more and more and more important in college football. And I think that has much more to do with why we're seeing more quarterbacks end up getting this award.
Russ Mitchell's with us. College football news on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB is a Heisman voter, so going over the ballot. Let's knock out a break. I want to come back and I want to talk about I want to get your thoughts on these first round games. So we'll get thumbnail previews and picks on each of these first round games, which will start on Friday with the SEC on SEC matchup, the rematch with Oklahoma and Alabama. We'll get to that with Russ as we continue here on AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Don Moore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. 4 locations, endless gift possibilities. If you have not yet finished your Christmas shopping and there's someone on your list that you're going, I don't know what to get them, Clegg's has something. Even if it's a Clegg's gift card, which is super popular. How about you think outside the box? Citrus trees are a great option. You can plant a citrus tree at your home, your camp, whatever it may be. And that is something that will literally bear fruit and bring joy and enjoyment to your family for generations. How cool is that? Also, bird feeders, hummingbird feeders, tuned wind chimes, which are a beautiful accent piece for anybody's outdoor space. You got to check them out at any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Schoenfagen and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for
After Further Review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Rolling along here in hour number 3. Russ Mitchell, good enough to hang out with us. Spent the first segment talking Heisman. Russ revealed his vote as a longtime Heisman voter. Now we turn the page to the college football playoff. First round gets underway Friday. And the first game is SEC on SEC, a rematch. This time, though, in Norman. It's Oklahoma hosting Alabama. Do you think this one looks any different than the first one we saw about a month ago?
Yeah, it's being played in Norman.
Yeah.
That's about it. Oh, and also Jam Miller's banged up.
I think he's on the availability report questionable, but it sounds like he's going to give it a go, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between available and being able to push the pile. And I look, Alabama at home in November managed, what was it, like 80 rushing yards with an average of 2.4. So this is a great front seven from Oklahoma. It's not, I didn't misstate that. They averaged 2.4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can't do better on the road in Norman, I've been to that stadium 4 or 5 times. You know, it's no Auburn, but if we're going to just see another Georgia, and I'm worried about that. Alabama's favored in this game, right?
Yeah, I think it's like a 1.5. It's a virtual pick. It's moved a little bit, but yeah, it's right around a point. Yep.
I think if you're Alabama, what all season long their defense has feasted or basically done well in post-snap movement. So creepers, simulated pressure, late rotations, all of that sort of thing to put pressure on quarterbacks to be able to read the defense, right? If they do well with that and they make Mateer have to throw the ball away, and we saw a lot of that in the game in Alabama, then they can stay in it. But if they're averaging, 2 yards a carry, it's going to be a lot. It's half the playbook if that happens, and I think it will. I don't think that there's no reason to think they're going to run any better. 4 weeks later or 3 weeks later, how long has it been? 4 weeks. I don't expect them to, and I like Oklahoma. Take the points.
So by the way, the line is completely flipped. It opened Bama 1.5. It has moved now to Oklahoma 1.5. So it has moved 3 points since it opened. So money coming in on Oklahoma. I wonder if the availability report yesterday with Miller and then Josh Cuevas, who's questionable in this ball game as well, if that's impacting people's perception of what may happen in this game.
I was talking to some people before the debacle against Georgia, and they were not very optimistic. These are people on Alabama staff that were not very optimistic about this game, about him being able to play in the first round of the playoff. So I'll believe it when I see it.
All right.
I'll believe it when I see it.
That'd be a big loss for Bama if Cuevas isn't out there. He's a big part of their offense. Let's go to Saturday morning. The other one of the other obviously SEC teams involved is Texas A&M. They're going to host Miami. Aggies are a 3.5-point favorite in this game, Russ. But man, I can't shake what we saw the first half against South Carolina and then in that game against Texas. Is A&M maybe a little bit of fool's gold this year?
Well, A&M's defense, which is what they've hung their hat on all season, is great at getting teams off the field on third down, in large part because they lead the SEC in sacks, right? In fact, they're tied with Oklahoma, that same defense that we just talked about, in terms of being able to sack opposing quarterbacks. And that's what this game comes down to. If they're able to put pressure on Carson back, if they're able to put pressure on Carson back, live up to that standard that gets you long third downs and that will pose. Well, the problem is that they're 9th in the conference in scoring defense, and they're not very good against the run, which we saw. They're 13th in rush defense per carry in the SEC. And we saw that in the Texas game. So if you have faith in Miami, if you think Miami will be able to run the ball on A&M, then yeah, this is going to be a very, very long morning for the Aggies.
I didn't realize A&M's run defense was that poor. Who do you think wins?
I mean, it's in Kyle Field, which, we've talked about this. There's no greater. I've been almost to every major college football stadium. They are like, it's not like LSU in terms of how loud it is, but there's like a spooky cult-like feeling in that stadium. And the only thing I've ever seen close to it was I got to watch Kansas basketball team play, where they do that rock chalk Jayhawk sort of spooky chant thing.
Yeah.
Kyle Field is a scary place to play, man. I mean, that is a weird place, and I think that'll be the difference in this game. I think it'll cause chaos for Carson.
The other two games are going to be blowouts. Ole Miss hosts Tulane. They already blew them out once this year, and then Oregon is going to roll over James Madison. They're a 3-touchdown favorite. Do you want to give a thought on Ole Miss is a 17.5-point favorite? I mean, is there anything that could go wrong for Ole Miss in this game? I mean, maybe just not having Kiffin, the distraction. I mean, is that a real thing here?
I mean, which Ole Miss team shows up? It's the one that played Washington State or the one that played Georgia and Oklahoma? So I tend to believe that even with the Kiffin distraction, the one that played Washington State was looking forward to the Georgia and the Oklahoma games. So I expect Ole Miss to be too much for Tulane in this game. I don't think Tulane has the scoring power to keep up with the Rebels. So I like Ole Miss.
Any thought on James Madison, Oregon?
The only thing, so James Madison, who we all pay so close attention to,
the Fighting
they're
Billy
well
Napiers.
coached. They're physical. They don't often beat themselves. And I can tell you that I have not watched one single James Madison game all season.
I respect the honesty so much.
I have only watched highlights in the last week, and I've been trying to jam them in. I just want to say, we were just talking about stadiums before. There are very few stadiums west of the Mississippi River that y'all need to worry about going to visit. But if you ever get the chance to go to Autzen Stadium for a conference game, or a big game, you should do it, because that stadium is the closest you're going to find west of the Mississippi that feels like an SEC stadium. It only holds 60,000 people, but it's way louder than it seems. And I can't imagine how the Dukes, that offensive line for Oregon, can run faster than some of the running backs that the Dukes have. So I see this. This is going to be ugly.
I was listening to Jimmy and Charlie show. One of the professional handicappers was saying maybe the play is a first half play on James Madison. Maybe they come out inspired, keep it close for a half, and then Oregon does their thing in the second half. I'll probably just watch an uneventful game on Saturday night and watch Oregon just dump truck James Madison, because it'll be the thing that's on TV, so we'll all watch it. But in any event, you want to pick a national champion?
My national champion. My national champion. I don't think it was LSU, and I don't want to go back and look. But
they're not going to
right
win it,
now.
Russ.
Right now, I'm looking at how all the teams are playing, and I don't have that much faith in Indiana. I just don't. It's a good team. I think they'll win their first round, but I like Georgia. I like the way Georgia's played, and I think they're tested, and I think they're peaking as the season has progressed.
Russ Mitchell, get him on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB. Thank you.
Parish Construction, thank you for supporting the segment. And,
I was wondering where the hat was, but I do, by the way, have your purple and gold hat. It's in my car, purple and gold Parrish hat. It will be mailed to your home. And I much appreciate the time.
By the way, I would listen to you and Ryan on Friday. I thought you were too hard on Ryan.
About what? For eating the ice cream during the segment?
I was wondering what the hell he was doing. What was he doing? Was he eating an ice cream?
Yeah, if you weren't like a listener brought us Italian ice, which is like ice cream, and like we're in the middle of a segment talking, and he's just shoving ice cream in his face while we're talking. It was so distracting.
We did an onsite at Pluckers once, and I drank beer and ate wings.
I mean, I would expect nothing less from you, but I expect Ryan to be a professional at this point.
I don't care. All right.
I know you don't. All right. Thank you. We'll see you. All right. That's Russ Mitchell. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Interestingly enough, of course, when it's one thing Terrio does exceptionally well is when he's here and we do the reads for First South Farm Credit, because he is a guy that's called. He's talked to Tim over at First South Farm Credit and explored buying land. Terrio has this grand dream of buying this giant piece of property he's got his eye on. He wants to build his dream home and live off the land and all that sort of stuff. And if that's what you want, if you want to live in the city or you work in the city but live in that rural lifestyle on a big piece of land, build your family's dream home, First South Farm Credit can make that happen. Maybe as we're moving through hunting season, like I know a lot of you hunters, if you share a lease or you hunt on someone else's property and you want your own, let this be the last hunting season where that's a problem. You can reach out to my friends at First South Farm Credit, and they can start you on the process of buying your own land for your own hunting property, your own recreational property. It's First South Farm Credit. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. firstsouthland.com. firstsouthland.com. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. One segment to go here on this Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Jimmy B here for Auto Locks. There's a bowl game going on right now, as a matter of fact. This is the Cure Bowl, right, that's being played right now. It's South Florida 10-7 up on Old Dominion at halftime. And we got the Cajuns playing tonight. So the Cajuns and the Blue Hens. See if the Outers got a pick on that. We'll do it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Not too late. I'm going to keep reminding you as we count down to Christmas. It's not too late. It's not too late to make the decision to give your family the best gift ever. Go Clark Griswold on them and put in a pool. Or maybe an outdoor kitchen. And Duplessis Builders can make that happen. Go to duplessisbuilders.net. Like, I'll show you, if nothing else, just do this so you can see how cool this feature is. Do this right now. Grab your phone or go, if you're at your desktop, whatever, have your tablet. Go to duplessisbuilders.net just so you can see this thing that I talk about all the time, which is such a cool function. duplessisbuilders.net. There's a pick your pool tab. You do the same thing for the outdoor kitchens. But pick your pool. You'll see 11 designs. Just pick the design that you like the best. Click on one of them. Paul, just pick one. Just click one. Click one of them. And then you'll see you can go through and it'll let you, with all the tabs, you can pick all of your finishes right there on the website. Boom. You can even put down a deposit, pay for it right away. duplessisbuilders.net.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunnyquip.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Again, HRT, peptides, so many different options over at Goodwood, unique physique and unique aesthetics and wellness. All right there on Drusilla in Baton Rouge or online at yourgoodwood.com. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
You Otter.
Hey, Matt, what's up, buddy?
Cruising down the home stretch here, man.
All right.
Got a win with the Knicks last night.
Yes.
Missed with Troy on football. Missed with Clemson. Was there another basketball? Oh, we missed the basketball play. That's right, because it was in game already.
Tennessee.
How did that one turn out?
Tennessee blew them out.
Atta babe. So a 2-2 night.
Yeah. 2-2. Yes.
All right.
2. We added the bowl game. We were 2-1. Right, but we had the bowl game last year.
All right. Couple of bowl games tonight. Some college basketball
anyway,
as well. What we like?
Down 10-7 at half at the Cure Bowl right now with Old Dominion. I think we're in good shape.
You think there's it's worth taking it in game here? ODU's plus 2.5 is plus 2.5, right?
Our position is and would suggest, I wouldn't mind getting on it some more right now. What's the current line? Probably 4. Probably the original line.
Old Dominion plus 2.5. Can you not hear me?
Live line.
Can you not hear me? Otter, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear me. I don't know. He can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So, Old Dominion right now is plus 2.5 in game.
Yeah, God, they're being cheeky, huh? I mean,
no go.
Okay. No. I thought it would be over at 3. Anyway, I won't try and figure it out. Let's go to the night game, the bowl game with ULL. ULL making their 6th straight bowl game. They had to win their last 4 to become bowl eligible. They won all 4 of them by 1 score. Walker Howard got hurt early. Daniel Beal was kind of rushed in there for a little bit. He was replaced, and then it seems like they kind of got it figured out finally. And so there's there's definitely an edge for experienced coaches, with the more experienced coaches in these bowl matchups here. There's definitely the advantage there because Delaware, first year in the FBS, obviously they're bowl eligible for their first bowl game. Now, there were one AA power back in the day, but they'll be excited. This one, pretty much everybody is playing on both teams, but I like the experience with the coaching staff. I like that they have a little bit of hunger here, losing their last 3 bowl games. I'm going to take the Cajuns, and we like the line movement right now. Looking at maybe a pick 'em at some places now.
DraftKings still has it at 1.5, but it's at plus 100.
Yeah, but it's going to go down. It's going down.
Okay.
It's going, yeah. So wait a little bit. That's probably going to go down to 1 or even pick. There's some picks out there right now. Speaking of line movements, UCLA at home against Arizona State. Arizona State, their point spread value got boosted a little bit, actually inflated a little bit because they won the Maui Classic. Normally, Maui Classic is the most prestigious pre-conference tournament in college basketball, but it was not even close to the field that they normally have. A lot of other tournaments, including the Players Era Tournament in Las Vegas, took the bulk of the quality teams for the holiday season. So Arizona State going on the road, they were lucky to escape against Santa Clara in Las Vegas this past weekend. So Bobby Hurley got tossed early in that one. So we're going to take UCLA minus 9.5, start to see some 10s. So get it at 9.5 before it goes to 10.
All right, UCLA minus 9.5 on the hardwood, and we're looking at the Cajuns tonight. But wait for that line, see if it goes down to 1 or a pick. Where are you tomorrow, Thursday?
We're at Country Club, Louisiana. No, it's a little bit later.
Go.
We are going to be at the original walk-ons on Burbank.
Well, I will look for you at the Guaranteed Christmas Party tomorrow night. But have a great show tomorrow. Good luck tonight. Thank you, Otter.
Ho, ho, Hanning.
Get out of here. It's after further review. It was actually at the Our Lady of the Lake Christmas Party last night at Supper Club. I love going to Supper Club. I mean, I know I say it all the time, but got my plate of food and sat down, and they had so many of the amazing entrees available, and I made sure I got some of the sea bass. I've told you so many times the sea bass is incredible. Sat down, took a bite. I was like, this is the sea bass is amazing. And everyone at the table was like, get as much of the sea bass as you can. I'm telling you, even if you love steak, you're going to have the best dining experience. But even if you don't love steak, I promise you go to Supper Club. You're going to love it. It's amazing. Get the sea bass or my favorite, the veal parm. Just go to Supper Club. Get a reservation. Go. Supper Club. Had a great time there last night. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, I got to get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow 3.
AFR.
Hey, we're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. It's Parish Restoration. They'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. Someone sent me a message on the text line yesterday and was like, hey, does Parish Restoration come to Alexandria? Yes, they'll go anywhere. Parishrestoration.com. And it's so easy, too, because they have their Sprinter vans. And so they've outfitted the Sprinter vans where when you open the back doors, all the hose is wrapped within the whole interior of the Sprinter van. So it's just like a pulley, right? I mean, they just take the hose and just run it all the way through your house or your building or whatever it may be. And they'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. It's, again, non-toxic, so safe for plants, pets, people. Totally safe. They'll spray it. It'll kill everything all the way down to the spores. As soon as the fog dissipates, boom, you're back in. Free, clear, clean, smelling, sanitized, healthy building. It's Parish Restoration. Log on to parishrestoration.com. That's parishrestoration.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This menu is a masterpiece. Delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raising Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is safe!
Peter,
Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.